Hi everyone, this is Joseph. I'm your boy here at Felipe Alexander's office. We're going to be talking about National Interest Waiver because a lot of people, well, frankly, have been getting that kind of request for evidence and denials under this administration. RFEs and denials have been skyrocketing. We want to know exactly how to combat it. So Felipe is kind enough to share some of the secrets. Let's get to it.
Let's do it.
National Interest Waivers. I'm sure you have some amazing stories. Can you give some examples of some industry, some occupation that you've seen and done?
You know, I tell people it's not limited to any industry or occupation. It's really about you, some of the special things you've done, and how significant it can be for the United States. Paulo, one of my favorite clients, he's a financial advisor. Financial advisor,
right?
You know, how are you going to get a national interest based on that? But he has a YouTube channel.
Okay.
And I said, keep growing that.
Okay.
Keep growing that, and the advice you've given people on that channel can literally change their lives. It's like not only change lives, literally, there's some people that told me they were about to kill themselves before they watched my video, and I give them hope and getting out of debt. And I said, man, come on, if that's not a national interest, I don't know what is. And he got approved. Because we said he was going to come here and serve as a consultant and financial education, and how that is a burden for American families, right?
Whoa, so okay, financial advisor giving financial advice on YouTube and was able to impact individuals and viewers.
Exactly.
And you were able to make the national importance argument. It is not limited to a geography and location.
Absolutely not, especially after Dinosaur publication from the AO. They said it's not limited to a geographical location, but it's, what kind of a broad impact can you have? And so the challenging cases are if you're going to work for a company 9 to 5,
right,
is your impact going to be limited to the walls of that company?
Right.
And so in Pablo's case, and in every case that we fight for, we argue and say it's going to surpass that. Even if you are working for a company, what you're doing is going to benefit people outside of that organization.
Cool. Another one.
Yeah, we got plenty. Juarez is, and again, this is just first names, but I mean, they've gone on social media with me, and these clients love us, and we love them. Again, a counselor at a youth prison. This guy did some amazing things. He created a program to significantly reduce recidivism among youth. Because he gave them something that their parents and their society had not given them: love and confidence. He taught them how to believe in themselves, and then he gave them tools to actually be able to enter the workforce. And then he followed through. He followed up with them like a probation officer, but somebody who actually cares and so who actually wants them to succeed. It was something ridiculous. Like, he reduced it by 75%. It was amazing. And I said, come on, do we have that issue here? Do we have a recidivism issue here? Do we have difficulties of these youthful offenders re-entering our society because now we look at them as trash?
Oh, wait, hold on. He did that in a different country.
Yeah, in a different country.
He did that in a different country.
Absolutely.
And you're using that to argue that he will be of national importance here.
Absolutely.
But so is he starting his own company? Is he being hired by a U.S. government? How did you make that argument?
We made the argument that he was going to be a consultant for other facilities. He could give speeches and he can give trainings and share what he did, and prisons and detention centers here could learn from him, because detention is necessary. But what's the point if we detain people and then we just toss them out? We're detaining, is it only to punish, right? Do we care about our society to the point where we actually want to send them off to give them a chance to succeed? Because that also helps our society and our economy, right? If they can come out and be productive members of society, it benefits us all.
So I could see how that's he's well equipped to do this because he's already done it.
Yeah.
But he's going to start this consulting agency to help. And a lot of these programs are actually not local government. There are a lot of private contractors that are going through all of these programs, right? And so he has a good business plan?
Yes, he had a good, professional plan. For him, we actually didn't even do an official business plan, like go through, Journey or one of these. We actually just did a detailed professional plan. What do you intend to do with this case? How are you going to help, these detention centers? How are you going to help the youth as a whole?
Amazing.
And he got it. Fernando had some issues with his L1. He's been with us for over 10 years. We got his L1, but then issues with his company. We weren't able to get it renewed. He gave up and he moved to Portugal. And we said, let's try an NIW. And I think we got it on the third try.
Third
NIW. Try. Engineer worked on significant projects, but unfortunately, it is very discretionary, and so sometimes you get the officer who just doesn't agree with your argument.
Right.
But keep trying.
What is his industry? What is he doing? How did you make the argument? He's in Portugal. He's not even in the US.
He was here for some time. He did have a company here, but essentially we used the many projects that he did in Brazil. He had letters of recommendations from the mayor, and I believe in his case there was also a segment where he helped several buildings become wheelchair compliant. And I said, hey, that's a big deal here, right? You need people that kind of help us, with that kind of construction. So you take everything that your client has, and sometimes they don't even think it's important. But as you're talking to them, yeah, we did something in the wheelchair accessible. Whoa, say that again, because that's national importance. I have to set you apart.
But he's doing it for his own company. So how do you make national importance argument to expand beyond the geography?
So nuggets like that, right? I think in his case, it was definitely the wheelchair accessibility case. And I believe also he worked on some affordable housing. So then we used that. And we said, hey, this is very important to the United States. This is an issue. Any state has the affordable housing issue, right? Real estate prices, wages, right? So this is very important for our country. And so we kept trying.
The past 3-4 months, NIW applications have skyrocketed, denials have skyrocketed, crazy requests for evidence seeing across the United States. Every NIW attorney is struggling. What is your take on the current USCIS administration of these NIW requests for evidence and their policy, and how do we overcome them?
I think it's a perfect storm of things happening, right? I think, like you said, the number of applications have escalated. You have a lot of non-lawyers now, getting on this train and doing this stuff. And so you have a lot of applications, but the quality of a lot of those applications have gone down the tubes, and officers are kind of sick and tired of this. So now it's affecting the legitimate application, because one more application from China, one more application from Brazil. This is probably baloney. Let me see what they say. You go into it already with that kind of mindset. And second, we know under this administration, there is an increased scrutiny. They're going to scrutinize us in a way that perhaps they were not doing a few months ago. And so that combination has resulted in a drop percentage. We do get ridiculous RFEs, and we get RFEs. We even got a denial, and now we're filing with the AAO where they got the guy's endeavor wrong. Let's say he works in some kind of security, and they were saying all across the decision that he was public relations and things that had nothing to do with his application. So we're going to get that one reopened. The officers there's a lot of pressure. They're overworked. The number of applications have skyrocketed. A lot of them are baloney. The directors are saying, don't approve these unless they're amazing. So it's harder. It's a different ballgame now. But we're still getting approvals. So it's possible to do it. You just got to keep swinging for the fences.
Do you see any new arguments that are right to argue now that couldn't have been argued previously?
I don't know if there's any new arguments, but I would say, use the government's resources, not against them, right? Because we're all on the same team, right? We want to get these people approved in the name of national interest. But since you have an administration that's really making America first, right? Well, then let's make America first. Let's use some of your executive orders. Let's use, some of the bills that, the government has tried passing recently, whether it's, aviation, security, or whatnot, AI. Use some of those government documents and say, look, I'm not making this up. The government has said how important this industry is. My client is clearly well positioned. And look at this beautiful plan. It's clearly national importance because you guys have said it.